$1 million for everyone? One person thinks so, and I have all the details for you right here in this video. Also, the number 373. The weird thing about this number that I've seen popping up in headlines lately that are completely unrelated, but at the same time impacting hundreds of millions of people. I have all the details for you right here in this video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so in this video, I do have a few different headlines that I want to talk through with you, so let's work our way through these one at a time. First off, I quickly want to talk about this number, 373. This is the weirdest thing. I've been doing a lot of research every single day, and this number has popped up a few times recently that are completely unrelated headlines, but at the same time impacting over 400 million people. That's a lot of people. In fact, that is more people than the entire United States combined, right? So that is a lot of people that we're talking about right here. And this one number alone, 373, is impacting over 400 million people. Anyway, let me talk you through the details as far as what this actually represents and the headlines actually behind this 373 number. All right, so first off, headline number one is $373 billion. Now, over the last couple of weeks here, President Biden and the administration have been talking about canceling federal student loan debt for about 43 million federal student loan borrowers. Collectively, all of these people have about $1.7 trillion in outstanding federal student loans. Well, they want to come in and cancel some of these federal student loans in the amount of $373 billion. So yeah, that's what it all comes out to. So when I first saw that number, I thought, okay, fine. It's $373 billion. That's a lot of money. In fact, to put it into perspective, that would be enough money to send out another $1,400 stimulus check to essentially every single person that got them about a year ago. 282 million people got those checks last year. 85% of the population in the United States got a $1,400 stimulus check, and that cost just a little bit more than $373 million. Or billion, not million, billion dollars, okay? Just under $400 billion. So anyway, just to put that into perspective, it is a lot of money, right? We're talking a lot of money. So anyway, that is the instance in number one that I saw this number popping up. Now, next, this is kind of weird too. Totally same number, 373 million, okay? 373 million is where this comes from now. So the last number was billion, but this one is 373 million. Check this out. Right now, in the country of China, there are 373 million people locked down as a result of COVID. To put that into perspective once again, as of right now in the United States, the entire population of the United States is about 333 million people. Therefore, it would be the entire country of the United States plus another 40 million people on top of that are locked down just in China alone right now. So over the last couple weeks here, in fact, yesterday alone, I talked about this in one of the videos where I was saying this may lead to some massive supply chain issues with this many people locked down over in China. That's the case right now. Nearly 400 million people are locked down in China because they have a zero COVID policy. Yeah, this is going to be a long road ahead of us with this lockdown business in China. Now, again, I know that doesn't impact us here directly as far as we're not locked down, things like that. But at the end of the day, when we go to our stores and their shelves are empty and things like this, well, a lot of this may be stemming from, a lot of this product and things that we are buying from China that we're importing, just not being able to put on, in containers and put onto freighters and brought across the ocean, things like that. I mean, obviously, we know the situation. I talked about it in a little bit more depth yesterday. But anyway, yeah, a big number, right? So anyway, I thought it was super weird because we were talking about this federal student loans, $373 billion that they want to cancel, and then we're talking 373 million people that are locked down. And again, these headlines are completely 100% unrelated, but at the same time, how often do you see the same number popping up when it relates to kind of stuff like this? It's not that often, right? So anyway, I thought it was super weird, and I thought, I don't know, maybe it'd be interesting for all of you to know what's going on here, but that is what we're talking about right here. Now, let's quickly talk about $1 million for everyone. Could you imagine $1 million hitting your bank account? Everybody gets $1 million. $1 million for you, $1 million for you, $1 million for you, and $1 million for you, right? Everybody gets $1 million. Could you imagine that? Oh man, that would be an interesting situation, let's put it that way, but it would lead to some major problems. We can talk about that here in just a second. However, before I get into this story, I think it's a pretty cool one, which I want to share with you in this video. But really quickly before we do, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. I am your one and only daily advocate. I'm very much dedicated to you and this community. I'm doing all the research every single day, boiling it down into these short videos so that you can stay updated and keep a pulse on what is actually going on, not only here in the United States, that's mostly what we focus on, but at the same time, I want you to keep kind of a perspective on what is going on all around the world right now, especially with everything going on. We got to watch everything closely because ultimately some of this that's going on globally is probably going to come back here and impact us in some way, shape, or form. Therefore, I'm doing all this research, boiling it down into these videos, making sure that you're staying updated, getting all the top headlines, which I boil out into these videos each and every day, which I deliver a couple times so that you can stay tuned with everything going on. And ultimately, as I always say, I want to make sure that you're getting all the money, benefits, programs, and anything else you possibly can right now as a result of all of these proposals, introductions, bills, all these other things that are happening and being passed. I want to make sure that you know about it so you can be getting as much money, benefits, and things like that as you possibly can right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any updates going forward, and let's get into this. All right, so $1 million each. Let's talk about the details about this, and then of course, I'll tell you why this would be really cool, but at the same time, it caused some major problems. So, as a result of everything going on in the Ukraine situation right now, so we know right now that Congress wants to pass another, $33 to $40 billion to go over to Ukraine. Well, a couple days ago, an NBA player who happens to be, well, I might say his name wrong, but it is Robert something. It's Sakra, I don't know, I'm saying the name wrong. Robert something from the Lakers. Sorry, I'm saying your name wrong, dude. But anyway, he's one of the Lakers players. He sent out a tweet and said, rather than sending out $30 billion to Ukraine, why don't we just send the American people $1 million each? So every person gets $1 million. Could you imagine how cool that would be, right? $1 million for everybody. Now, here's the thing. That would cost an unbelievable amount of money to send out $1 million for every single citizen, right? It'd be tons and tons of money. It's not even realistic. Let's just put it that way. However, it'd be a super cool thing. But this is what this one Lakers player is saying. He's basically saying, rather than sending out all this money, billions and billions of dollars across the world to all these other countries, let's just send it out to the people here in the United States with this time that we're living through right now with rapidly rising inflation and prices that are going through the roof on everything. So he's possibly feeling kind of the same way that all of us are, which is, come on, when are you going to help us out? When are you going to give us some money? When are you going to do something to help everybody in this country, right? So that's essentially what this Robert is saying. And again, I apologize. I'm saying his name completely wrong. It's Robert, S-A-C-R-E, I think is how you spell his last name. But he's a Lakers player. But anyway, he said this out on Twitter a couple days ago. But anyway, let me share with you some of the major problems that this would actually instill, okay? Here's the thing. $1 million, if we all look at it, think, wow, that'd be super cool, right? $1 million to hit our bank account, that'd be awesome. Yeah, it would be cool. It'd be super cool. But guess what? That would cause, hyperinflation is not even the best word. That is not even a strong enough or a powerful enough word to call what that would be. It would be inflation that our money would literally be obsolete, overnight, okay? You snap your fingers and our money would be obsolete and it would be completely 100% worthless if everybody got $1 million because prices would adjust higher for that. So maybe you go out to the store and you want to buy a loaf of bread. The loaf of bread would no longer be $3.98. It would be $500. You know what I mean? Everything would adjust significantly higher. You know what I mean? So a car that maybe would be $30,000 would now be $300,000. You know what I mean? Everything would adjust significantly higher. So everybody would have more money, yes, at the end of the day, more money, but at the same time, everything would inflate immediately so incredibly high because there'd be significant amount of demand for all of the same products and goods that we have, the services, right? So essentially, at the end of the day, you might look at your bank account and say, oh, I have $1 million. And All my kids have $1,000,000. My spouse has $1,000,000. My neighbors have $1,000,000. Everybody has $1,000,000. Cool, right? Yeah, it'd be super cool to look at your bank account and think, ha, I'm a millionaire. Cool, right? Awesome. This is amazing, right? But at the end of the day, it wouldn't really mean anything. It'd be the same thing as basically sending out $1,000 to everybody, right? It's the same thing. $1,000 would still cause a little bit of inflation if they sent it out to everybody, but the inflation would be, significantly less than if they sent out $1,000,000 to everybody. Maybe that same $3.98 bread, the bread that's selling for $3.98, if everybody gets $1,000, maybe it bumps up to maybe $4.85, right? So it bumps up maybe $1. But if everybody gets $1,000,000, then it bumps up like hundreds of dollars, right? Because there's going to be the same amount of bread on the shelves, and now everybody has $1,000,000. So they're going to go out and say, I'm going to buy 10 loaves of bread. I'm feeling a little rich these days. I just got $1,000,000 dropped in my bank account, right? So I'm going to go out and buy 10 loaves of bread. Well, the next guy comes by and says, I'm going to buy 10 loaves of bread too. You know what I mean? So ultimately, more people have more money, so it's more money chasing less goods and services, therefore basically putting inflation like on a little rocket and sending it out into outer space, and basically it would be like massive inflation. So it would not necessarily be a good thing. However, on the other hand, to be totally fair, if they did send out $1,000,000, and again, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not here saying that $1,000,000 is going to be sent out. No way, shape, or form is $1,000,000 going to be sent out. I can pretty much promise that, okay? I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. I'm not saying that $1,000,000 is going out, okay? I'm simply saying this, and I'm giving examples just for, I guess, for fun, for entertainment purposes, maybe for educational purposes. I don't really know. I'm just giving examples as to what $1,000,000 would do if it went out to just basically everybody, okay? However, let me take the other side of this argument and say, if $1,000,000 was sent out to a very, very, very small, focused group of people, like 10,000 people, maybe 100,000 people, the inflationary impact would be minimal. It'd be pretty much zero. I would say it'd probably be zero, okay? I would say the inflationary impact if they sent out $1,000,000 to a very, very, very small group of people. When I say very small, I'm saying as a percentage of the total population. 10,000 people, 100,000 people, maybe 500,000 people. The inflationary impact would be, again, zero. I would say the inflationary impact would be absolutely zero on that. But the reason for that is because it's not enough people, right? It's not enough money going to enough people. Yeah, it's $1,000,000 going to 500,000 people or 100,000 people or whatever. It's still a lot of money going out, but it's not enough, right? It's not enough money going to enough people, if that kind of makes sense. Let me give you one quick analogy that shows you how sending out a bunch of a lot of money to a small group of people does not cause inflation, okay? On a big scale anyway. Think of lottery winners, okay? There was just a huge, massive lottery winner of one of the big lotteries. I'm not sure if it was Powerball or Mega Millions, one of those two out of Arizona, okay? So one ticket alone won $473 million. Is that going to cause inflation? No, it's not going to, because it's sending out, well, after they pay taxes and after the annuity payment, well, the annuity is 473, but the cash lump sum is usually about half that. Let's just say the cash is, say, $250 million. After they pay taxes, they're only going to get about $125 million. Again, that's still a lot of money, right? But let's just say that this one person, whoever won that lottery was, by the way, if you're watching, hey, a huge congratulations. If you want to help out, give some people some money here on the channel, by all means, let's connect and let's get some people here on the channel some money. So, hey, lottery winner in Arizona, 473 big ones. Let's get something done here for the people in this community. Anyway, just a little side message there. Here's the thing. This one person that won, let's just say $125 million that they're going to take home, this is going to cause zero inflation. Okay, the reason is it's a lot of money going to one person. That one person is probably going to share it with a bunch of people, their family members, their friends, things like this. Again, it's a lot of money going to a very small group. It's going to cause no inflation, okay? Just like all across the country, there are lottery games all over the place. There are people probably hitting $1 million lotteries every single day. And again, it doesn't cause any inflation, okay? Because it's not enough money going to enough people. So anyway, that's just a really quick example that I wanted to give you. But again, hey, Arizona, you, whoever you are out there, if you want to share some of that money, let's talk. There's a lot of people here in the community that could be using some extra money right now. $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. You could certainly do a lot of good with that money. So whoever you are, Mr. Winner or Miss Winner person over in Arizona, let's get some money to the people here in the community. Wouldn't cost you that much. You got about 125, 130, maybe $150 million in your pocket now. Let's do something with it. Anyway, so yeah, I highly doubt that person is watching, but you never know who may come across the videos, right? You just never know. So got to throw that little message out there. Anyway, these are the updates that I have for you as of right now. Again, some weird stuff going on. It's just a couple weird updates that I wanted to share with you. I thought they were kind of cool and interesting. But other than that, that's about all they are. Anyway, this is all I have for you as of right now. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,500 videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.